Roland King said he was going to use his remaining time to clean up the world from the inside out. And he really does it. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is King of Spies, the story of a super spy who has only 6 months to live, who picks up a gun and decides, I am going to take out every single corrupt bad guy on this planet. It doesn't matter their status. 'Tis open season. And we continue exactly where we left off, with him making the promise to do so. But we go a few decades back before the mayhem, before the promise, and we see the twins, their sorry state. They thought they could face off against Roland King. One lost an arm, the other lost half of his body. He was that lethal. His capabilities could never be questioned because back in the present, he was cleaning up streets. He was taking out drug lords who were actual lords. He was taking out human traffickers, one exactly living next to the Queen of England. After he was done with these two, he went for the predators, the most dangerous of them all. He went for newscasters who thought to bury stories by burying bodies. No one was off his list. And the most beautiful part is, he knew all the monsters because this was his job. When he worked for the agency, his job was to keep the peace. He knew all the dirty sins of all of the most powerful players. And tonight, or rather, this whole 3 months that he's healthy, he's taking out all the sinners without remorse, without pity. He knew that if he did this, he would be the enemy of the world. And it was just a shame. It was going to be his best mate that would have to catch him because his best mate was the head of the agency right now. But Roland didn't care. This needed to be done. Before I leave this planet, I'm going to leave this world as clean as it could possibly be. And that means taking out killers as well. You see, the agency had a list of agents in active duty. And on the top of that list right now was Lucas Bell, the marksman from hell, with assistance from his son. He never missed a shot. I mean, this was the same agent that murdered a princess with 1 bullet and at the same time made it look like a traffic accident. He was that good and dedicated enough to pluck one eye, to keep one eye extremely focused. He had a mission today, taking out 2 very powerful men. His son, however, was always curious. Why are we killing these people? But his father, like I said, was extremely focused. He doesn't ask questions. He just pulls the trigger, and he pulls the trigger really well. These 2 gentlemen thought they were going to have a peaceful day, but nah, bullets to the brain, swiftly. All they could notice was 2 holes in the window. Lucas was that good. When he was done, he told his son to clean this shit up and meet me in the car. Oh, how wrong he was, because before he could take another step, the ground erupted. They fell from the top, their bird's nest, down to the ground. The impact was so great, his son died instantly. His head caved in. He screamed, "You killed my boy. Why?" Roland came out from the shadows like a beast. I apologize, old friend, but we both know this was the only way we could do this peacefully. You are too dangerous when you are on your guard. Now, I'm going to need something from you. Your hand in particular. Roland had a plan. You see, he had a target that he had to reach, but first he needed equipment, and since he was out of service, he needed the hand of someone who was in service to access his spydom and gain access to a multitude of technology he could use on his rampage. And most importantly, he got them shades, the shades that could blind out anyone's identity from the system. Now he was invisible and he looked good too. Now fully equipped, the rampage continued. He went for the Queen's brother, knowing full well the Queen was never going to let him be charged with anything. He did it himself and hung him on the top of Buckingham Palace. He was brutal. This was the last straw. At this second, his best friend had to order him a code black. He called his own son. Get me Atticus King. And we see Atticus King was having fun. He had just had a good time with his partner, and his partner apparently was married. As soon as his wife stepped in the room, though, Atticus put her down, exposing the fact that she was a government spy for Russia, and he was sent here to not just take her out, but to clean up this mess. So he took out his partner as well. This brother was cold. just like his father. And when he called HQ to inform them that the mission was complete, he got the news. Your father is cold black. Are you in? Are you down to put a bullet in his brain? And Atticus smiled. Of course, this is Christmas. What the agency didn't know is his targets have evolved. Now he was going for the one man who should never be killed in such a way. He was going for the president. They were spending billions keeping him in the air, keeping him out of this guy's grasp. But it was all for nothing because the pilot himself was king himself. He came out like this was nothing, bro. He said, yeah, I'm here to take your life. You are garbage. His guards didn't take it seriously. They said, yeah, you won't be stupid enough to kill him on this flight. But he smiled, really? Put a bullet in the president right in front of them. They were shocked. Why would they think he didn't have a plan? Because he did. He set off the charges and blew the plane apart. He was a goddamn super spy. Of course, he had a parachute in his waistcoat. But before he could even launch it, someone grabbed his foot. It was a big bodyguard. You just killed my president. I am a patriot. We died together. King tried to fight him off, but this guy pulled King to his mouth and bit his family jewels. The charge of pain flowing through his body, he realized at that second he's a terrible father. He remembers Christmas. He was supposed to be with his family, though he was with other women. His son called him and said, I wouldn't open my present till you're here. And he never came. The doctor said that this medication will make him remember memories that have long since passed, and this moment was just one of those memories. Mr. King was still falling to his death, so he decided, man, I cannot die like this. Finding a helicopter in his sights, he decided to use this big bodyguard as a platform to jump off, at the same time pushing him towards the blade. He was diced apart like meat. Now free of his ball and chain, he unleashed his parachute and came floating down. He realized at this moment, man, I am amazing. I am 67 years old and I am still doing shit like this. I feel 25. Get ready, world, because I am not done yet. And really, he wasn't. Nobody was safe, which is why Atticus was called in. He was as dangerous as his father, and honestly, he wasn't even asked. He needed someone to go attack first and tenderize the meat, which is why he called the twins. Yes, they survived, and they were still very capable. As soon as they found out from Atticus that his father was now cold black, no protection from the Secret Service, they were happy. They said, brother, I will kill your father for free. He took something from us, and we promised to pay him back, one way or another. As he looked to his sister, she smiled in agreement. Nah, she frowned in agreement. Let's go kill this bastard.